Hi, I'm Mridula Sankhayan, and in this video today, I'm going to talk to you about how to overcome your self-doubt in just 7 minutes. So let me start with a story. I was sitting in a global conference call, and I was telling the leadership team about how I did a workshop and decided to set the business goals for my team. And the leader liked it so much, she said, Mridula, that is fantastic. I would love for you to come and do this for my team in Hong Kong. Now, from the outside, that sounds like great news. But inside, my heart was racing. I felt butterflies in my stomach because they were very senior people in that team, and a familiar voice appeared almost instantly. Can I really do this? Will I be good enough? What if I disappoint them? Have you ever had these moments where you have doubted yourself? Whether it was a promotion, a new role, a big opportunity, a chance you have been waiting for. And instead of excitement, you feel discomfort, you feel self-doubt. The interesting thing is that self-doubt rarely shows up when we are playing small. It usually appears when life is inviting us to step into something really big. In that moment, I had a choice. I could listen to that voice of fear, or I could trust the voice of possibilities. So I did the right thing. I took a deep breath, smiled, and said, absolutely, I would be delighted. And then what happened next surprised me even more. I planned, I prepared, and I did a great workshop. That workshop was a huge success. It led to more invitations globally and more opportunities to work with the senior leadership team. But none of that would have happened if I had just allowed that self-doubt to creep in and make that decision for me. In today's video, I'm going to share the exact process I use to move from self-doubt to self-confidence, one that I now teach leaders and mid-career women through my inner CEO framework. And if you stay with me for the next few minutes, you will discover a simple strategy, a simple practice that can help you quiet your inner critique and self-doubt and activate your inner CEO, where self-doubt disappears and you show up as a strong leader. So, are you ready to let the self-doubt go? Fine, let's begin. So, think of a moment where you first had self-doubt, maybe recently. Have you ever walked out of a meeting and replayed every word that you said? Have you ever looked at an opportunity and thought, maybe I'm not ready for it yet. Maybe I'll apply next year. Or perhaps you have achieved more than you ever imagined, yet there is a voice inside whispering, what if they find out that I'm not as capable as I seem to be? Look, if any of this sounds familiar to you, you are not alone. I have coached hundreds of women leaders across industries, and one challenge shows up again and again. Not lack of talent, not lack of intelligence, but self-doubt. So today, I'm going to help you unlock your inner CEO and begin breaking free from the patterns that keep you second-guessing yourself. And by the end of this video, you will walk away with a simple practice that can help you move from your uncertainty towards clarity and action. We are going to work on clarity and action. So, number one, why self-doubt matters? Self-doubt matters. It's not just a feeling. It quietly influences all the decisions that you make in your life. It becomes your reality. It causes us to play smaller than our full potential. It keeps us from speaking up, applying for opportunities, asking for support, and trusting our own wisdom. So sometimes we just keep quiet and do nothing. The tragedy is that many highly capable women don't struggle because they lack competence. They struggle because they underestimate themselves. And that cost isn't just your career growth. That cost is your confidence, your energy, your fulfillment, and sometimes even your purpose. So what triggers self-doubt? Let's dive deeper a little bit. In my experience, self-doubt is often triggered by these three things. There might be a lot of sub-points. Number one, comparison. We compare our inner story to somebody's highlight reel. We see their confidence and assume they have everything figured out in their life. Number two, our own past conditionings. Many of us were taught to be perfect but not powerful, to avoid mistakes rather than embrace growth. And the third trigger is transition and change. Whenever you are stepping into a bigger role, a new situation, a new chapter of your life is starting, self-doubt naturally creeps in. How am I going to do all that? It often shows up not because you are incapable, but because you are actually growing and you don't have all the answers. The problem begins when we take our mistakes or lack of information as our incompetence. So let's look at a different perspective. How do we reframe it? I want to offer you this very powerful reframe. What if self-doubt is not a sign to stop? What if it is simply a sign that you are standing at the edge of your next level? Every leader I have worked with has experienced uncertainty. The difference is not successful people have no doubts. The difference is that they don't let those doubts become their decision makers. That is where your inner CEO comes in. Only when you walk into the unknown zone is when you grow. Now, recognize your wins. So how do we overcome the self-doubt? Recognize your wins. Let's do a quick exercise. Think about 3 situations in your life where you overcame something difficult. Maybe a difficult conversation, maybe a project that was hard to finish, but you did it. Maybe a career shift, a personal transition. Ask yourself what strengths you carried in that. Resilience, creativity, courage, persistence, leadership. Most women, forget about their strengths and they focus only on where their mistakes are. So focusing on your strength is the cue to your future potential tapping. So let's tap into our strengths. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is moving your attention from your weaknesses to your strengths. Instead of asking, what is wrong with me? And I know we can give 10 reasons for that. Ask, what is right with me that I have forgotten? Are you struggling to create a list? Strengths are not just skills. They are qualities that energize you. When you lead from your strengths, confidence becomes a natural outcome. Not because you feel fearless, but because you feel aligned. You have fear in your heart, but you still pursue, you still push forward. So let's build a growth mindset. How do we do that? The inner CEO doesn't ask, can I do this perfectly? There's no such thing as a perfection. Did you know that? The inner CEO asks, what can I learn from this situation? And let me do it to the best of my ability. Every challenge becomes feedback. Every setback becomes data. Every mistake becomes a lesson learned and what not to do. A growth mindset allows you to move from judgment to curiosity. And curiosity is far more powerful than criticism. It's one of the most important leadership traits. Create clarity through visualization. Now, how do I do that? I'd like you to do something. Very gently close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself 1 year from today. You have overcome self-doubt. You are leading with confidence. You are making decisions with clarity. You are moving about in a confident voice. People are responding to you very positively, and you see this version of yourself, how you sound, what you wear, what kind of people come to you, how they are complimenting you, and see what is it that you are doing differently. How are you showing up? How does this clarity refine your entire personality? This is your mental rehearsal, your mind movie that is going towards taking you from self-doubt to self-confidence. Let that imagination continue. And as you look at that beautiful picture of a confident woman that you are, before you leave, you take one action today. Write down one strength you will always trust, your strength. One belief that you will let go, that is holding you back. And one action you will take this week despite your self-doubt. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes after action. And every time you choose your discomfort, your inner CEO wakes up and you take over. So lead with confidence, lead with courage. And if this resonates with you, join my upcoming free masterclass on inner CEO. Drop your self-doubt and unleash your true potential. In the next video, I'm going to talk about 5 steps to unleash your leadership identity and power. Subscribe to this channel now and share your biggest takeaway and comments that you remember. The leader you have been waiting for is already within you. It is time to awaken her. So see you in the next video. Bye. Have a good day.